I do believe that food brings us together, and y'all know my love language. We make pound cake. Now this is my grandmother's recipe, so don't at me with anything about things I'm doing wrong or that you do differently. I appreciate your differences sometimes, but this is my grandma's pound cake, so don't be saying anything harsh. And what we're going to start with is putting the oven at 325. Now those of y'all that are regulars to the program, you know that 350 is my go-to for almost everything I fix, but cake is kind of like barbecue, to cook low and slow. And I'll also tell you that to save y'all some prep time on camera, because I know that y'all have watched my other videos, we've got our pan here for the cake, and I have already put in the Crisco and the flour to get it ready. If you don't know about that, there's a video back in the archives to teach you how. And by the way, this is probably one of the best Pampered Chef purchases I've ever made. This thing is not at least 20 years old, and it's fantastic. You just have to remember not to wash it with soap, because I heard that a friend of mine ruined hers by washing it with soap. You're just supposed to wash it with some water and scrape it and clean it and season it like that. So anyway, pound cake is meant to be unhealthy and delicious. And so if you're on a diet, don't make this. If you need gluten-free, don't make this. But if you're a vegetarian, you can have it. Vegans, because we're using real butter. We got 2 sticks of real butter here, and I'm gonna put it in my big old stand mixer. I freaking love this thing. My cousin Cindy gave me this as a thank you when she stayed with me several years ago when we were both still single minis and she was finishing up all of her residency for stuff. And so this was a thank you present. Real good, Cindy, good call. So we've got 2 sticks of butter, and then we need some sugar. And y'all know, see, if you're new to the show, you don't know how prejudiced I am with sugar. It's only Dixie Crystals. I don't think y'all understand there is legit a difference in sugars. So we only buy Dixie Crystals. And if you need a coupon for a free bag, you let me know, because Dixie Crystals sent me some, and you just got to make a commentary there. So we've got 2 sticks of butter, and we need 2 cups of sugar. So see, there's math you can remember. And I'm using a 1/2 cup scoop. I got to check the scoop. And the reason I have my bag of sugar on the countertop in addition to my canister is, as y'all can tell, it is time to refill, because I love cooking with sugar and butter. Those are happy things for me. So in your stand mixer, make sure you lock it down, friends, right? And we're going to put it on kind of a low set. And you just want to cream it until the butter and the sugar are at one with each other. And by the way, my butter is at room temperature. If it's cold, y'all, it won't cream right. And so if you don't have time to let it set, put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds at a pop, but stop before it gets mushy, because then it won't cream right either. And so we're going to get it to where the sugar is mixed in with the butter, and Shazam. Oh, wrong direction. Now we're going to add our eggs. We need 3 eggs. They are also at room temperature, because science, you know, everybody likes to quote how science is very important, and it is, frankly. Y'all know that I don't like to measure in my kitchen, my rules, except when baking. Baking is when you measure, because that's when we have chemistry and reactions going on. And there's egg number 2. You want to do these one at a time, and when you see them get dispersed, the yolks busted up and it looks a little smoother, keep adding your next egg. And there comes number 3, and you see I'm making a mess, which is why I'm actually wearing my apron today, which I don't do all the time. And we'll notice our egg is getting pretty smooth. And now we're going to add in a little bit of flour. And if you want to mix your dry ingredients in advance, you can do that. My grandmother did not, and so I make it the way that she did. God rest her soul. And y'all know that we are only using white lily flour. If you are from up north, you don't know that white lily is the flour you've been needing all your life for baked goods. It's just lighter. I don't know why or how, but that's fine. We're going to be putting in 3 cups of flour. And you're going to mix it in, not 3 cups at the same time now. That will make a mess of your batter and your kitchen, frankly, too. The only thing I wish KitchenAid has done is give me a little more space between the beater or the paddle and the edge of the bowl. And there's cup number 1. And now that I got cup number 1 in, I'm going to go ahead and put in a 1.5 cups. And then we're going to pause it for a second. Well, wrong direction, I always do that. We're going to put in our salt now, and we need about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I can measure that without my instructions, because I know how much a 1/4 teaspoon is. That's yay much. And you mix it in halfway, friends, because it's gonna have to react with your baking soda. Now we need a half a teaspoon of this. I do measure the baking soda because I can't really hold it in my hand. And there we go. But salt has to touch your baking soda. It's one-time touching is very necessary right there. Except frankly in life we need to be touching more. And then we're gonna add one more half a cup and we'll be at our 2 cups of flour mark. It's starting to look creamy and cake battery. Oh snap, I knew that was gonna happen. Happens every time. All right, and now we're seeing it get kind of dry. Let me see if I can make my camera come over here. I need a cameraman or a studio. See, it's getting nice and doughy kind of looking. So we're gonna add a little bit of buttermilk. Now, those of y'all that are thinking, oh, no, I mean, don't be so judgy, all right? So you're gonna need about half a cup in total, and you should always shake up your buttermilk when it comes out the fridge. And your house should have some anyway if y'all ever want to make chicken dumplings or chicken pot pie. Buttermilk is the key to that. So let's put in about half of our amount here, as I'm going way too fast now that I got flour on my floor. Y'all know I don't really like to have a dirty kitchen even though I cook a lot. And so now I'm staring at my flour on the floor and it's gonna cause me to have some anxiety, I imagine. So let's just stir that in. We've got our flour, our buttermilk. We need one more half a cup. Will get us to 3 cups of flour. And by the way, one of the perks of a pound cake is you don't have to sift that flour. If you're making a fancy cake, you do need to sift to get that cake flour correct kind of a consistency. Now we're gonna let that go for just a second. We'll put in some flavor in. Now you can use whatever extract you want. For me personally, I like to use a little bit of almond extract, and the amount I used was the last little bit that was in my jar. And so I don't have the foggy side. This if it smells good, and a little bit of lemon extract. So I could total the teaspoon between the two. Well, I just finished that one off too. It was about empty. It's gonna be pretty lemony. Now you could use vanilla flavoring. You can use, I don't know, orange flavoring. You could buy some cake batter flavoring, which is pretty much just the old butternut flavor. And we are pretty much mixed there. So let me get my spatula here, scrape it down off the sides so that I can, oh, I had a little bit of flour snuck up here on the paddle. Let's knock that down in there, cause you know, science, chemistry and stuff. We're gonna scrape it down off the sides. Now you notice I have stopped to scrape it down, friends. You don't want to actually just scrape forever and mix forever, because you can make this stuff tough as nails. And if you don't know, the best part of pound cake is getting it out of the pan where it's not tough. And then when you put it in the oven, we're gonna jump up and down a little bit. We want a sad streak in it. Some of y'all don't like a sad streak. That's that part at the bottom that's really mushy still, even after it's baked. Frankly, if it's cake consistency all the way through, I have gone too far. All right, so now that we have got it mixed up, see, y'all thought pound cake was difficult. It is one of the easiest things to make. It freezes like a champ. Now I'm making one single cake so that I can eat it for Sunday supper with my mom and daddy. But if I'm making these for bereavement, I will make it in little pans like y'all have seen. I've made the pumpkin bread and banana bread. I make and the fig cakes, I made those in those mini pans too. That's probably the best thing I ever bought at AC Moore, God rest its soul. Now they're gone. I guess I have to go to Hobby Lobby when I need some more. And that's it, y'all. Look, we're still only at the, what, 9.5 minute mark on this video. Oh, that tastes good. All right, that's the cook's perk is licking it. And then I'm fixing to call the family in here, see who wants to lick the bowl and lick the batter. Because in my house, that's gonna be well, frankly, the first one up in here is gonna get some of that. But I'll also be the one that cleans the toilets today, because it's time to clean the toilets and my mama's baking. A child can do that job. And those of y'all that follow me, you know we have a child in the house. My son is amazing at doing the toilet scrubbing. He learned that from his best friend. That's why your kids have to have good friendships. Teach them how to scrub the toilet, see? Things in life. Okay, now we're gonna get all of this batter in the pan. We're gonna stick it in this oven at 325, and we're gonna let her roll for about an hour to maybe an hour 20, kind of depends on your oven. And again, it depends on how much you like it cooked. And I've already given away the secret to y'all that mine has got to have a sad streak. If it doesn't have a sad streak, then it is not for me. All right, now look at this pretty stuff here. Daggone, that's good. I kind of like that almond and lemon mix today, since I was using up extract. All right, there's your before shot. All right, friends, when you come back, I will show you. Oh man, I gotta fix my racks. Well, I'll just pause it, fix my racks, and see y'all in an hour and a half. Okay, so this is the weirdest thing you have to do making your pound cake. Now, my grandmother had 8 kids and 18 grandkids, and so there was always a parade of people in the kitchen. And my kids are, of course, teenagers, and so they're nowhere near a camera when it's around. And so what you gotta do is jump up and down near your stove, make some big racket. This is your cardio for the day. You need to be really aggressive in the space near your oven so your pound cake can get a sad streak. Secret tip for y'all. All done, and here's your final result. So you'll notice that on a good pound cake, you get that little top cracked ring going on, which is frankly just a lot of goodness. If you cook yours a little bit longer than I do, you can go for that dark golden brown crust, but y'all know I like the sad streak. And the way I know I have it, when you put your knife in to see if it's done, you know, it'll come out clean if it's cooked all the way through. Mine has this much little gushy goodness, not much, just a wee tiny bit. Tells me there's a sad streak from jumping up and down. Enjoy the heck out of it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.